Wow. Okay, we're gonna take those off. Okay. All right, so I can go. Okay, so here we go, brothers and sisters. Again, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. With God's assistance, we begin. My name is William Kareem, and this is Monday Morning Programming on American Muslim 360. The name of the program is Living in the Upload Life. There is so much going on in the upload life. And I just want you to know that myself, um, um, as a representative, myself and Sister Martha Nala Abdullah, as representatives of American Muslim 360, we were in Washington, D.C., and we had an opportunity to 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 meet Andre Carson. And in meeting Andre Carson, uh, we I wanted to actually keep that up on the screen that we met Andre Carson. Can you see this image I'm projecting, Martha?
Can I see the image? I was seeing the disclaimer that was up first, but shall I?
Okay, so there's a disclaimer. I don't see a disclaimer.
I had to come back to speak to you. Hold on.
Hmm.
American Muslim 360 disclaimer. The content of the American Muslim 360 Broadcasting Network is intended for general information and community service purposes only. Views expressed by hosts or guests are their own and not necessarily the official position of AM 360 or the parent corporation, Community Wide Sure Conference, Inc., CWSC, or its board of directors. Content is not designed to provide specific and personal medical, financial, legal, counseling, or other professional advice. No liability, explicit or implied, shall extend to the host, AM 360 or CWSC. We encourage you to consult an advisor for your specific circumstance. Thank you. And now back to our host, William Kareem.
Okay, let me see if I can bring up this image now. Again, I asked the question, can you see this image that I'm projecting on the screen?
No, sir. Did you do share your screen?
I did do share my screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go share again. Share. So I'm sharing. And
Mm,
now I'm going.
Now we see an image. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, Bismillah Rahim, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Monday morning programming right here on American Muslim 360. My name is William Kareem, and the image that you see is myself and Martha Nala Abdullah and Andre Carson at the Congressional Black Caucus event that happened in August of this year. And we went down there, and it was really a fascinating event that we were at. The Congressional Black Caucus, there were many people that were actually there. I want to share another. I want to share another um, image with you. This is not the one I want though. So let me get rid of this one and show you this one. Okay. All right. So I just want you to see that this was an event that was well attended. That's the impression that I want you to understand, that this was an event in Washington, D.C., given by the Congressional Black Caucus that was well attended. There were thousands of people there, and if you take a look at this image right here, you can see that, especially as far as the women, you can see that their expression of culture, um, their expression as far as culture is concerned in their dress and in their whole presentation as far as the men and the women was exquisite. It was dignified. That's what I want you to understand as far as this image that I'm showing you. The other piece that I want you to understand is that there was um, there were many subjects that were addressed at the Congressional Black Caucus. As you see, it says 2025 Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Annual Legislative Conference. And Congressman Andre Carlson presented a hip hop and politics event. And these are some of the people that they had on. These are well-known people, especially in the that hip hop and the politics of resistance. uh, I give this to you so that you can see that there were many other subjects, but this was one that I was totally interested in. Why? Why was I interested in this? Because right here on American Muslim 360 on Sundays, we're going to do a program called Cultural Connection, Cultural Insights, where American Muslim 360 and a New Day Community Radio come on, and we talk about basketball, we talk about hip hop, and we talk about um, have a conversation about issues of the day. And so you know, one of the pieces that I promote is that hip hop is the future. And because there is language that's in it. And while there's a lot of negativity that's in hip hop in the Muslim community, we have many Muslim artists that are actually making their presentation is lyrically constructive. That's what I wanted to say to you about that. And the Congressional Black Caucus understood that to that degree, and so they addressed the idea of hip hop, and especially as far as how it had to deal with politics also. So let's go back to the idea of politics. Let's do that again. Let's stop sharing. We want to stop sharing, and we just want to come into the uh, we just want to now I see Sister Martha. I see Sister Martha, but I never see myself as far as the presentation is concerned, and I always wonder, am I being seen on YouTube, or is the image that I'm looking at right
Thank
now,
you.
Sister Martha's image being presented? I don't know. I don't
But
know.
on our end, it is you with your very astute look and your background.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. I'll take your word for it. Okay. I'll take your word for it. But what we wanted to do is this, that we are living in some trying times today, and politics can help us to some degree. But it's very important for us to understand our political situation. And so, myself, what I always have to do, I always have to go back to basics
Mm-hmm.
to understand things. I have to always go back to basics. And so it's important to understand what politics means. I mean, politics is a word that is in the culture, it's in the American atmosphere. But do we really understand what politics means? Well, let's talk about how it actually began. It began with people from England coming over here to America. And we're not going to go through any of the negative things as far as is concerned. What we want to do is discuss how politics started here in America. So you know that it started with 13 colonies. Okay, 13 colonies. And these 13 colonies were 13 villages. And these 13 villages, they communicated with each other and said, we need to get together and have a meeting. So they met in Philadelphia, And the first time that they met, they didn't have a quorum. So if there's 13 colonies, in order for them to go forward with the meeting, they had to have at least seven. They had to have the majority representation from the villages. So the first couple of times that it happened, seven representatives, seven of the villages or colonies sent representatives. And when they had these seven representatives come, they discussed things, and then after they discussed everything that they needed to discuss, um, eh, because they had a well, let me tell you what they had a discussion about. They had a discussion about rules and regulations, because these 13 colonies were kind of like together to some degree. Um, and they were, and what they did was, one person would go from one village to another village, but the laws and the rules and regulations would change, because each village or colony had their own rules and regulations for operating. And so these 13 colonies that got together, what they did is they said, look, we're going to create rules that whatever colony that you go to, the rules will always be the same. So that if you're in one village and you travel to another village, the rules would be the same. So it didn't matter. So this whole thing about we got the Bill of Rights, the freedom of speech, et cetera, and all the rest of that there, in the right not to be searched, et cetera, all those kinds of things, because what was happening in these villages or these colonies, they when new people came, it's like, who are you? And they had their own way of dealing with things. So the 13 colonies got together. First time it happened, seven of them got together. So it was a quorum, and they made some rules. And then when they made the rules, what they did was they sent the information to all the other 13 colonies. And as time went on, then more of them started to participate. Does this sound familiar? It's the same thing that we do today. So more of them started to participate, and then you had, everyone in the 13 colonies participated together. But they was also having a problem, with England, where they came from, because I don't want to go into it to particular. The only thing that I'm trying to establish is this: that the United States, the 13 colonies, was established on rules and regulations, period. That's the point. So that everyone in the 13 colonies would be following the same rules and regulations. And so over time, it bloomed into what? The United States of America. I'm not going to go through all of the history, but this is how the Constitution was established. It's a set of rules and regulations that is good for everybody in the United States of America. That's why it was established. So that no matter where you would go in the country, that the rules and regulations, the basic rules and regulations, was be the same. And that's how you have this document that's called the Bill of Rights. Because the Bill of Rights is basically the first set of rules, is the first 13, first 13, I'm just going to call them amendments, but it's the first 13 rules that are in the Constitution. Okay? The Bill of Rights. Okay, and then after that, then they started to add other things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so we got the Bill of Rights. So then they came together and understood this. Well, what we're going to do in order to support the government, because what was happening is that they needed roads, they needed health care, they needed things that was good for the whole of the 13 colonies or the whole of the United States. So what they started to do, they said, well, what we want everyone to do, we want everyone to pay a fee. Okay, to give a fee to the government, okay, to give a fee to the government so we could take care of issues that affect all of us. So, sometimes it had to do with building roads for, so that instead of being able to drive over dirt all the times, they started to make roads to make sure that there was, that everyone wasn't dealing with candles, but, they started dealing with electricity. And so, they had to put electricity all over, the 13 colonies or all over the United States. This was the progress of it. And then each one of the states or one of the colonies they had to send representatives to meet together. And so, it's like, you have to pay for them for their transportation, and you have to pay for their lodging in order for them to get there so they could discuss the needs that were happening in each one of the villages or each one of the states. And so, that would come out of the fees or the taxes that was sent to this governing body that was called the 13 Colonies, or called the governing body of the United States. And so that's what we have today. We have people who send taxes, which are the fees that go to support the improvements that are needed for all of the states and the people. And so what happens is the governing body, they set up these various departments, and they put people over these departments: Department of Education, Department of Health, uh, uh, um, and many other departments. I'm just talking about Department of Education, Department of Health, Department of Transportation. Each one of these departments or these institutions that were established, as far as the country is concerned, it was done for the good of the people. That's why it's done. We pay taxes so that services that are provided for all of the people, not just, some of the people, but for all of the people. All of these institutions and these apartments are set up for the good of the people, so that the people of the United States can be taken care of. So why am I saying this? I'm trying to paint a picture to you. The picture that says that when we have the three branches of government, all right, that have the responsibility, which is what? The Congress, the Senate, and the president. Okay, or we can say it like this: the legislative branch, which makes the laws, the judicial branch that makes the laws. Maybe the congressional branch that no, I don't want to say it like that. I want to say it like this: the judicial branch um, is over the rules and regulations, right? Um, the executive branch, and that's the president. He's the one that gives the leadership. Okay, so it's the judicial branch, and it's the I don't know why my mind is doing this here. So I need some help, Sister Martha, or somebody. What is the three branches of government?
Okay, the three branches are the judicial, the legislative, and the executive.
Okay, so the legislative branch is made up of Congress and Senate.
That
Um,
well, actually, Congress is the representatives and the senators.
right, right. This
Okay.
that's the legislative branch.
Yes.
Right. So the judicial branch is the ones that make sure that the rules and regulations are enforced.
That's the Supreme Court justices and all. Yes,
That's all the judges, whether it's
yes.
all of the judges. That's it. That's their responsibility to make sure that the rules are enforced. And then the executive branch. What is the responsibility of the executive branch?
They execute
They
the
execute.
laws.
They
Mhm,
execute the laws that are put in place. So this
mhm.
is what we've had from the beginning of the country. We've had that for the beginning of the country. So the question becomes, when we get in a situation where we have institutions being closed down, when we have uh, uh, our government putting extra taxes on the people, when we have ideas about the stealing of elections, when we have ideas about criminals being let out of jail, when we have ideas about invading other countries just on being done by just one person. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, do not become immune to these unprecedented events. This is not the way this is not the way it's been designed to work. That means that there are people who are using power to do whatever the heck they want to do. So this is why it becomes important also to make sure that we stay, we just say, cognizant, aware of what's going on. The reason why this administration is getting away with and it's because the Congress and the Senate is backing the executive order. The legislative branch and the judicial branch are backing the executive branch and doing all the things that they are doing. They are The legislative branch is not holding the executive branch to task for what it's doing. The judicial branch is not holding the executive branch responsible for the things that they are doing. These two, the executive branch and I'm sorry, the legislative branch and the judicial branch are allowing the executive branch to get away with all of these things. The executive branch, the president is not just getting away with it on his own. He's not. He's got support. So this is why it becomes important to be cognizant of this and to make sure to vote the right people into your to be your representatives, because again, the legislative, the Congress and the Senate, they have the majority, is Republican type of thing or whatever. They are supporting the executive branch. If they if if they didn't support the executive branch, then the executive branch wouldn't be able to do all of this. And again, I say, don't become immune. Don't become uh, 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 don't become uh, 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 unconscious of these situations that are going on in the country. Don't become and don't accept it, because that's not the way it's supposed to go. That's the point. Don't accept it. These are not the rules. And I'm talking to you, but you know what? You know that this is the truth that I'm saying. You know it. Don't just, well, they go ahead and do whatever they want to do. No, don't accept it in your heart and don't accept it in your mind, because this is not the way the country was developed to operate. Right now, the country is not operating for the good of the people. It's just not. When they're closing down, when they close down the IRS, and they just come in and take all of the information, the private information of people, that's not right. That's not right. The institutions and departments are supposed to protect our information, but then you got people that just come in and just take it. And it's okay. It's okay because the representatives that we send to Congress and the Senate and the executive branch have allowed it to happen. The judicial branch and the legislative branch and the executive branch, they're working together to that degree. So again, do not accept this. Do not accept it. Don't become satisfied with this situation. When the time comes, it becomes important to go ahead and vote these people out, because that's not the way the country is supposed to work. It was not established like that. That's why they say that, that's why we have the Constitution of the United States. This Constitution is the rules and regulations of the United States. That's what it is. It's for your protection, it's for my protection. It's for the protection of the people of the United States. That's what it's for. We give our taxes and everything so that it's good for all of us. So for somebody to come in and to say, yeah, we're gonna shut down the Department of Health, we're gonna go ahead and shut down the Food and Drug Administration that goes ahead and looks at the food that we have. We're gonna shut that down. No, don't accept that. Don't accept that. That is not the way the government of the United States was established. It wasn't. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. So don't, brothers and sisters, just don't accept it. That's why that's you know that 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 becomes important. That becomes very important. And this whole idea about the Congressional Black Caucus, the Congressional Black Caucus was created, to serve the rights of the African American or Black people in America. That's what it was created to do, and that's what it's continuing to do. But not only for Black people, but to address the issues from our perspective, utilizing the branches of government to that degree. Um, the social and political landscape of the United States looks very different today than it did when the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation was in the early part of 2024. At that time, many of the Biden-Harris administration policies enacted by Congress in 2020 were charting meaningful new progress for Black Americans. From historic investments in clean energy and physical and social infrastructure across the nation to bold new workforce development policies and whole of government racial equity initiatives. Now, the other piece that's in here is this whole idea about artificial intelligence and this whole idea about investments in clean energy and physical and social infrastructure across the nation to bold new workforce development. Workforce development. Workforce development is not AI. The people of the United States, every human being deserves to be able to have a job, to be able to be able to work the land, to be able to work the field, to work these departments. It's not supposed to be given over to AI. It's not supposed to be done by machines. It's supposed to be done by humans. The human being can only progress if he works, if he or she works. You can't have you might have a machine that assists you, but you you've got to be able, the human being, I'm talking about the human being all over the world, has got to be able to work. And what is happening in the United States is that corporations are putting people out of work. The government is putting people out of work, and they're putting machines in the place of humans. That's not good for people. That's not good for human beings. The human being has to work. So when you hear the administration firing federal workers. That's not right. That's not right. It's not right for human survival. Our government is supposed to be maintaining our workforce by making sure that people have an opportunity to participate in government, not by kicking people out and turning it over to machines. Machines are not going to pay taxes. If you turn it over to the machines, you turn it over to these corporations that run the machines. Are they going to pay the taxes? Well, according to this administration, the way that this administration is working out, they're giving tax bonuses to the people who are running the machines that are running our government and then giving them a break, but putting the burden of life, food, clothing, and shelter on people who don't have a job. Does that even make sense? So again, that's why I say to you, don't don't become immune. Don't become uh, 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 glazed over by this current situation because this is not the way that it's supposed to work. 250 years this year, 250 years, supposed to be a 250-year celebration from 1776 to 2026. It's supposed to be a 250-year celebration. The way that the country is going, it's not going in the right direction, and you know it's not going in the right direction. This is not the way it was established to work. And it's just something that's very basic, brothers and sisters. Don't don't become glazed. Don't your mind and your heart and your understanding become glazed over with, oh, well, I guess that's the way that it's supposed to work. No, that's not the way it's supposed to work. That's not the way it was established. The way that the branches of government are working out right now, it is not for the good of the American people. It is good for the corporations and it's good for self-interest. It's not good for the interests of the American people. That's why we send people, that's why we send people to Congress. That's why we send people to the Senate. That's why we send the president, this current president, to the presidency because he said, they said that they would look out for us. But did they look out for us? Are they looking out for us? We have the power. We have to make the change. We have to because it's not operating right. It's not operating for our benefit. It's only benefiting individuals. It's only benefiting corporations. So this is not good, brothers and sisters. And this is why, again, the Congressional Black Caucus, they came together. We was down there, and their heads are on is on right. Make sure and see and you know you seen mainstream media talking about how these representatives are going back to their home state trying to explain why they are voting against the best interests of their people. There are many representatives that are quitting because they are so afraid of this current administration and the way this administration is operating. Right now, they are on this Christmas break, just like the schools are on Christmas break, but they have to come back together. But you know what? There have been times, that, well, the Affordable Care Act has run out as of December 31st. It ran out. So now you're going to have to be much more aware of your health care. And they say that you're going to see the prices rise. So take that in consideration when you go see the doctor and take a closer look at your doctor bills. Take a closer look at your doctor bills. Take a closer look at your doctor bills. Take a closer look at your food bills. Take a closer look at your housing costs. Take a closer look. Take a closer look at transportation. Here in New York, they're getting ready to make a rise in the transportation in New York. Take a closer look. It's not working for the benefit of the people. That's what it has to be, working for the benefit of the people. So take a closer look. Don't become hypnotized by mainstream media. And that says, well, they can do this, they can do that. No, you know how it's supposed to work. You know how it's supposed to work. It has to work for our benefit. That's what it was built on. Now, I'm not I just want you to know that um this is American Muslim 360, and our faith and trust is in the creator of the heavens and the earth. That is our where our faith and trust lies. Mainly, mainly our faith and trust relies in the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one God. That is where it lies. So no matter what happens, we say, and we hope that you say the same thing, that the creator of the heavens and the earth is always aware and always in charge, and that things will work out in the future. It will work out. That is our faith and trust as we move forward, because we believe in the oneness of the creator of the heavens and the earth, and we believe that the power, okay, that the human being, that if you do the wrong thing, that you got consequences and repercussions that you're going to have to face. So this administration that is doing these things to the American people, they're going to have to face the consequences and repercussions of their decisions. They're going to have to face the consequences and repercussions. I mean, the Quran tells us, the book of the Muslim tells us, the reward for good is what? What should be the reward of good? The reward for good is good. And the reward for bad is, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. The reward for good is good. The reward for bad is bad. There are consequences and repercussions to negative actions. It's going to happen. If it's not for the good of the people, there are consequences and repercussions. So that's what I'm saying. Don't let people whisper to you. Don't let, we call it the jinn, the negative people, the people who are selfish, the selfish people. Don't let the selfish people try to justify their actions to you. Well, we have to, we can do that because we are. No, 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 no. If you take some action that is not for the good of the people, then you shouldn't do it. So don't let the whisperer fool you. Don't let them fool you and tell you that, like you pee on your leg and tell you that it's raining. Don't let them do that. Don't let them do that, because that's what it is. You feel it, man, my leg is whack. What's going on with it? Yo, what you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? It's raining. Don't you see it's raining? What are you talking? No, that's one of the slogans that they have in the United States. Pee on you, pee on your leg, and then tell you it's raining. No, 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 don't. We can't go for that. We can't go for that. And so again, that's all that I wanted to say as far as this is concerned, because it's very important that we understand how the country, how America came together, the whole purpose of the 13 colonies, the 13 villages, and they did a great job. They did very good. You know, with all the negativity and everything that we have in our history, they did an excellent job of establishing a government that was good for all the people. They did a very good job. And you know what? It worked very well. It worked for 200 years. Yeah, it had its problems. You know, there were problems, but the thing is that basically, you know, it worked and it can work, but it has to be for the good of the people. The representatives have to represent for the good of the people. And if that happens, because that's the best intention, if they follow the Constitution, it'll work out. Well, unfortunately, you know, we have people that come together with selfish interests. They only interested in their own self-interest. Don't let people, don't send people to Congress that have or the Senate or to the presidency that have their own self-interest at heart. Because you'll know whether these people are representing you. You'll know it. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. You know, I'm sorry to be so blunt this morning, but it's just so clear. The problem is so clear. We could see the problem. The solution is right there. Follow the Constitution. And if they're not following it, get them out of there. Work for the work for the good of all of the people. Don't work for your own best interest. Don't work for the interests of the corporations. Don't put people out of work. People need to work. How do you so I got I got you want people to pay taxes. You want people to send money to the government, but you don't want to you don't want to take that money for the good of the people. You want to go ahead and take that. You don't want to you want to say the Affordable Care Act. You want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of the Department of Education. So the money that we send, some of that is supposed to go towards the Department of Education. We getting rid of the Department of Education. We want we want to collect money about the student loans. No, you can't. No, you know we want you to send your money, your taxes. We want you to send it there. But you know what? We don't want to educate you. We want you to pay for health care. We want you to these tariffs. We want all that. No, no, no. We ain't doing nothing for you. We doing something for ourselves and the corporations of America. So America's supposed to become a corporation country. That's what it's supposed to become, a corporation country where everybody just becomes slaves to the corporations. That's what the country is supposed. And you don't have a job. You don't have a job. I you know I didn't necessarily mean to uh, go off to this degree. I wanted to explain more of what was going on as far as the Congressional Black Caucus is concerned. Some of the goals of this is to make sure that this report details where and how our nation's policymakers can continue to advocate and fight for an America where inequalities and overcome and where everyone has an equal opportunity to pursue and achieve success and dignity. Everyone. The policy agenda outline is the report prioritize 7 key areas for advancing our communities. Voting rights and civic engagement. That's one. Economic opportunities and advancement. We're talking about jobs, economic opportunities, workforce, the workforce. Again, what is that? That's human beings being able to work to go ahead and make the workforce even to grow the workforce, not to make the workforce decline. Education. They're cutting the Department of Education. That's okay with you? Healthcare. Do you know how much money is going into healthcare? The corporations that run healthcare, how much money is going into it? Criminal legal system reform. Criminal legal system reform. Technology and telecommunication policies. The upload life. So these are some of the things that some of the goals with each of these areas of focus is not full coverage of every issue that is important for our equality, but rather to focus on issues that represent key areas for the advancement of our people. Sister Martha, go ahead. You have a question or comment. Go ahead.
Yes, and I believe Depreeta also, her mic is open. But greetings of peace to everyone. As you were reading off that list, also adding as recreation.
Recreation.
I mean, the museums and all that is very much a part of the senators and the representatives when they're running for offices, and the libraries. We're maintaining a lot of that. And so when you divvy up the monies that's collected through the process of collecting dollars, when they send the budgets, the recognition, whether when the budgets are set in cities, and then those budgets, the city mayors are saying, we need the dollars. But the commissioners are the ones that divvy those dollars out. And so it is amazing when we look at our own household and we think of it that way. Well, we don't have those slices, all those slices to it. We're not privy to it because dollars just don't stretch like that. So,
Well,
alhamdulillah. So, thank you so much.
Dollars don't stretch in our direction, but they want our dollars to stretch in their direction.
Exactly.
See that that doesn't work out.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work out. Dollars supposed to, well, look, it's the law. You have to spend money on these taxes. You have to spend money on the taxes on food. You have to spend money on the taxes on
Transportation.
transportation. On your cell phone. You know how many taxes is on your cell phone bill?
Ooh.
How many taxes on your cell phone? So they want to, yeah, well, you have to pay that. They demand that you pay that. But when it comes to that money coming back in the opposite direction, it's not there. That's not good. Yes. Thank you, Sister Martha. Go ahead.
Thank you. Depreeta?
Yeah.
She may be on mute. Okay.
Okay. All right. But yeah, good points. And this whole idea about AI. Look, AI can give you an idea about an answer to a problem. But when I went to school, I don't know if they changed it now, but I went to school I was in university about 10 years ago, and they would not accept um uh uh internet, they would not accept internet uh documentation. I had to actually quote it from a book. Why? Because books have been certified. This information that's on the internet is not certified information. It's not certified. But books that are in the libraries of our colleges and universities are certified. They have been tried and tested. They have been approved by. And so when you want information, you have to go to knowledge sources that have been approved by. That's why libraries remain important. That's why they remain important, because in the libraries are books that have been approved by. Right now, we have a situation where they are taking books out of the library. We were talking to a sister on a New Day Community Radio where she said that they were burning books when she was coming up because they didn't want the people to have the knowledge and information. They don't want people to have it. They want us to have artificial intelligence. Don't forget, that's what AI stands for, artificial intelligence. I want you to eat artificial fruit. I don't want you to eat organic. I want you to eat artificial fruit. I want you to eat seedless. There's no such thing as organic seedless grapes. Organic seedless? How's it going to be organic when you took the seeds out? How is it going to be organic when you take the seeds out? What kind of sense does that make? Why are you taking away the seeds? Seedless oranges, seedless whatever. And then you're going to call it organic. No, no. Artificial intelligence. So you go to artificial intelligence, and then they have these things that are chat GPT. Now, I want you, it should be clear and understanding that they are support. They are support for knowledge sources. They are support. Chat GPT, artificial intelligence. They are support. If you need a quick answer, some idea, but don't make sure that you understand what the situation is. You understand that this is just an idea of what might be right. But if you start putting it out there, and that's what winds up happening as far as our children and grandchildren are concerned, they're going to depend on artificial intelligence for answers. And some of these answers that they get may not be right. They might not, they'll be halfway, telling half the truth and half the lie, and think today you're going to get by. Telling half the lie when you know the whole truth. Trying to spark the fires when insincere youth. Trying to tell me your dream and tell me it's mine. Selling you your dream, and then you tell me that's my dream. No, 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 no. You got to stay connected to the reality of things, to the reality of the truth of the creator of the heavens and the earth. That's where all knowledge comes from. Ikra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaqa. Read with the assistance of your Lord, who did what? Who created everything, everything. So look, I got 10 minutes left in the program, and so um, I pray that anything that I said was not for the intention of being disrespectful to uh, the our present administration to that degree, but there are some things that we have to be aware of, and we have to look at and say that I'm looking at it, and it don't look good. It doesn't look like it's operating in our best interest. And I'm saying that because we should be cognizant of that, that our government should be working in our best interest. That's what the 13 colonies came together for. That's why we're called the United States of America. United States. Our government is supposed to work for all of the people, all of us. It's not supposed to work for the corporations. It's not the corporation of the United States of the United States of America. And they don't pay no. They make all the money and then don't pay no taxes. But you ain't making no money. Your job being taken care of, but they still want you to pay taxes. You still got to pay those undercover taxes on gas, on transportation, on your cell phone. These couple of pennies are put in so that you continue to pay taxes, but these corporations don't have to pay taxes to that degree. It's not right. Okay, so I got 5 minutes left in the program, and so I'm going to give that 5 minutes to Sister Martha to talk about what's coming up on American Muslim 360 a little bit later on.
All right, and assalamu alaikum, because peace be upon everyone. I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All
This is
right.
why I have my little gear on there.
Why it's cold?
It is simply put, it is cold, but I am in a warm location, but it is a traveling process for me, and we will be addressing that at another date. But yes, later today, 1 p.m. Muslim American Power 5 here on American Muslim 360. That will be from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And following that at 5 p.m., Optimal Health. And that will be from 5 to 7 p.m. And then my Alikulihal, excuse me, together under any and all circumstances. But that will be from 7 to 8 p.m. Please plan to join us. And I don't know if the conversations, I sometimes forget to announce that, we're connected with other uh, mediums. And this particular one is through our financial connections with Graceland Community Inc., INC. And they have had I want to call it the not the complex conversations, but anyway, it is conversations. And that is usually from 8 to 9 p.m., but it's a separate Zoom information. So we can get that to anyone who's interested later on today, inshallah, or through CWSC. Please go to cwsc.us. Join us there on our website. Donate, donate, donate. And as we will be connecting today with a New Day for Al Islam Community Radio, 971-379-9162. That's with Khalila Ziyad
Yeah,
Islam.
right.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. That's right.
Alhamdulillah.
That's right. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later and also later on in the week, we're going to have Imam Yusuf Ramadan come on and make a special presentation. We're looking forward to that on Wednesday. That will happen. And also, don't forget tomorrow, I'm here again on American Muslim 360 at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with stories of the lives of the prophets. And so please be encouraged to join me tomorrow for a conversation on the lives of the prophets. We're on Prophet Jacob. We did Prophet Adam, Enoch. We did Noah. We did Sally. We did we did up to Jacob, and we're going to move forward with it. And so I thank you all very much, brothers and sisters, for being with me today. And if anything else, Sister Martha.
And I know I was saying Ibrahim, Prophet Ibrahim, and
Ibrahim.
amongst others. But
Yep.
yeah, everyone, yes, I do want to let everyone know that CWSC is venturing into the Hijra calendar and reminding us of it in this way. We will begin doing roundtables day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, until we count through the Hijra month. And that Hijra month then will merge into the next month, and we'll start all over again, day 1, and have the roundtables discussing various concerns, such as you were presenting. And I'd love to have that even go more into detailed depth about how we should not take for granted our interests, that we should invest into the political arena as that's our general life. So
Yes.
alhamdulillah, thank you.
All right. Thank you. And then until next time, we give you greetings. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Oh, one moment. Let me do the shut off on here. I will reclaim host. And it's been a pleasure, everyone. Travel with us more. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Princess Sergeant.